Hey everyone, I'm Tassenix, and welcome back to another mod guide video. This time we're digging into Count Dooku. I started off the Admiral Trench faction a couple videos back, so we're going to be assuming to run Count Dooku there. He technically can be used in a variety of other Separatist or Sith applications, and the good news is that this modding is generally going to be usable there if you weren't going to do Dooku under Admiral Trench. But that said, before we get too far into it, let's go ahead and cover the TLDR for Count Dooku. His set types should be speed and potency. The arrow should be speed primary. Circle should be health over protection, but that doesn't really matter so much. As you'll see, it's mostly about having the speed. So by hook or by crook, get a high speed on him, okay? Triangle does benefit from being crit damage. I would make that effort. Cross can be survivability here. You're usually thinking that with a potency set, the very least you'd be doing is a potency cross. And Dooku actually has a high enough base potency that just with a 2-piece of potency comfortably, he's up over 100%, up over 110% potency most of the time very easily. So potency cross feels redundant there. For that reason, I would go with health over protection, not that it makes a ton of difference. And if you were still constrained after that, you could go with an offense primary. Turn order. So again, in terms of modded speed turn order, he's going to be the first, right? Wat Tambor is technically the first character with his bonus turn, but we don't really consider that when I'm talking about turn order. All right, so he's going to be number 1, and his function is his first turn, the AI is going to put the rest of the team except Jango under stealth. That's what makes, that's a 1-2 punch that makes his team very dangerous. That's why we need him to be number 1. Stat priority is speed. This man needs to be fast, okay? Speed is number 1. Over offense, over potency, over survivability stats, all right? He's not like your first priority to kill on this team. He's maybe third priority, right? Most people are going to want to take out Wat Tambor, then Admiral Trench, and then Dooku. So I don't really put such a high emphasis on his survivability. I want this guy to actually slap as much as possible when he goes. He's especially potent in 3 versus 3 because his one special can stun 2 people, as we'll see in a moment. All right, but he should be extremely fast. In the top 100 of Kyber 1, his speed is usually 350 plus. At the very tip top, 360 plus, pushing on 365. You don't need to be quite so blazingly fast, but you get the idea. This guy needs to be moving, all right? All right, let's go ahead and dig into this guy. Of course, he is going to be operating under Admiral Trench lead, so let's recap that just to remind ourselves how his leadership might affect our modding. Admiral Trench's leadership highlights for Feared Tactician. Separatist allies have plus 30% max health and protection and potency, and have plus 10% speed for each ally with tech and each enemy with extortion. Whenever a Separatist ally inflicts a debuff on an enemy, they gain 20% offense for 3 turns, stacking limit once per turn. While a Separatist ally has a tech, they have plus 100% potency. When a non-Geo Separatist ally gains Bactoid Shield Generator tech, they dispel stealth for themselves, and while they have the tech, they are also immune to stealth and gain 100% crit avoidance and defense. So that last clause is, when you're applying that shield generator tech, that's for Jango. And that's, this additional survivability handed out helps him be the team's tank. But as far as the rest of this goes, we see that, when you have a tech on you, you're going to have the 100% added potency. It's a good time. It's a good time. All right, let's go ahead and dig into his unique Flawless Riposte. Count Dooku has plus 100% counter chance. In addition, whenever he attacks outside of his turn, he deals 30% more damage, gains 15% turn meter, recovers 15% protection, and gains critical hit immunity for 1 turn. It's not a bad unique at all. Alright, let's talk about his basic Hindering Press. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 50% chance to attack again, doubled if the target is Galactic Republic. These attacks have a 50% chance to inflict stun and ability block for 1 turn, and can't be countered or evaded. Alright, pretty nice. So, he can double hit and not get hit back either time. The stun, the ability block, this guy has a bunch of debuffs in his kit, so we know that he'll be able to take advantage of that stacking offense from the trench leadership. It's nice. Alright, his first special, Force Lightning. Shock the target enemy, deal special damage, and stun them for 1 turn. This attack has a 50% chance to shock and stun another random enemy, doubled if the target is Galactic Republic. So yeah, this is a disproportionately powerful ability in 3 versus 3, right? I mean, with only 3 characters on the floor, being able to lock down 2 of them with 1 skill, really nice. Granted, it's it's not guaranteed, but still pretty good. All right, his second special, Master of Makashi. Count Dooku dispels all debuffs from himself and gains riposte for 2 turns. All non-tank Separatist allies gain 15% turn meter and stealth for 2 turns. So this is important because, like I said, him being the fastest guy on your team, he's going to put everybody but Jango under stealth, right? And he's immune to stealth when he has the Bactoid shield generator tech. Right? That's from Trench Lead. Whoever's holding the shield generator tech will have stealth dispelled off of them, and going forward will be immune to gaining stealth. So that's why they leave Jango out of it. He's out there with damage immunity. He's got this shield generator tech, the added defense, the crit avoidance, and Master of Makashi forces the rest of the enemy team just to focus on Jango. It's very nice. Anyway, this riposte effect is defined as attacks out of turn ignore protection and can't be copied. So that riposte is also, combining into the rest of that unique effect where he's gaining the turn meter back, the protection back. It's nice. It's nice. All right, now his leadership, I'll just cover briefly. This is very antiquated. It's very rarely used. But Nefarious Connection says, Separatist allies have a plus 35% counter chance and gain 50% tenacity the first time they are stunned or dazed. Whenever an enemy falls below 100% health, they inflict tenacity down and healing immunity for 2 turns on themselves, which cannot be evaded or resisted. And all Separatist allies gain 10% offense, stacking, maximum of 50%. Back in the day, there was like a killer 3 versus 3 team. It was something like Dooku, Droideka, and Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin being able to apply Plague means that you were hitting at their health without having to deal with their protection first, right? Plague is going to eat at that health underneath the protection, which would trigger this leadership effect, forcing the enemy team to give themselves tenacity down and healing immunity, which they cannot evade or resist, and then you kind of just cheese them out with that. The game has moved long far away since those days. I mean, we're talking like pre-Datacron days when this leadership was kind of interesting. That being said, though, it's good memories, and I can't imagine when I would use it again, but it still exists. All right, let's go ahead and talk just a second about team comps and turn order. I will refer you to the main Admiral Trench video where you can get those details about why I say these different compositions for 3s. And of course, there is only one composition here for 5 versus 5. All the characters that you see here are shown in the list of the desired modded speed turn order. Okay, so for any of these teams, that's what you're seeing. It's not about who's actually in the leadership slot. Anyways, though, there are different ideas about when you would want to apply these characters, and that is covered in the Trench video. I do generally favor Dooku in my 3 versus 3 team, although I am seeing some occasions where it is kind of nice to have Jango instead. Anyway, let's go ahead now and talk about his mods. I do have that pulled up here. Again, I checked a couple other players to see what's going on, and mine is kind of in the middle, so reasonable to show. In terms of primaries and stuff like that, and being like optimized and maxed out. All right, so anyway, yes, speed and potency sets as I stated earlier. Speed primary, arrow, crit damage, triangle. I would prefer to have uniformity of primaries to get the most multiplier out of it. If I could, I would have health primary on the cross and the circle. As it was, I was a little bit constrained. Last time I went to do a remod, and I ended up needing to put him in a protection primary. What was important to me is that I maintained a really high speed. Like, he used to be 365. I had to nibble a little bit away from that because other priorities have crept in. But I still try and keep this guy just screaming fast, and that is the overall goal. So yeah, still kept the crit damage triangle, protection cross, health circle, and as I stated earlier, the 2-piece of potency really is enough. You have the 33% granted here. Now you might say, oh Tass, if it's really like that, what if you were to drop the 2-piece of potency, pick up like a 2-piece of health, and then just have a potency primary cross? That's okay. That's okay. I think I've had a potency cross on him at different points in time. I just think survivability is probably the best thing for him, because he is the third priority target to go down, and he can be difficult to actually focus on if you're not able to stun him or stop him from otherwise being able to counterattack. Those riposte counterattacks are a nasty thing. And so I think survivability is the better way to go. But yeah, you see that very comfortably we can be up over 110% potency. And then when you figure that he's usually the one, Dooku's usually the one receiving the attack tech that allows him to gain turn meter whenever an enemy takes a turn. So this guy's going to be just flying around the enemy team. And because he'll have a tech at all under Admiral Trench's lead, he'll have a plus 100% potency bonus. So again, another reason to not worry so much about it. I would try and stack a lot of offense on him otherwise. You can see that I really only have just a token amount thrown on. That's again because mods that have this kind of speed but with better offense secondaries, for me, are needed on other characters. It would be nice if he could hit harder. It is enough that he's able to move quickly. There is that ramping offense under Trench lead, defense penetration. You just have to rely on the team doing enough damage over time, and you just need the right effects to keep cycling. So just be quick, all right? Let's see. I don't think there's anything else there. As far as applications goes, so talking about what types of teams are needed to counter the Admiral Trench team, where Dooku is needed, I do cover that, again, in the main Admiral Trench video, so I would encourage you to check that one out. And yeah, I think that about wraps this one up. Thank you guys, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please hit subscribe to see more. Always enjoy seeing your comments. Enjoy interacting with you guys there and on Discord. Really great questions you guys have been having lately, so been a lot of fun interacting with that. Thank you guys. And yeah, of course, until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.